we are going to send Andrew Cuomo back to the suburbs.
Zohran Mamdani built a following with viral videos pitching himself as an unapologetic progressive in his campaign to be the next Democratic mayor of New York City. He says his campaign has drawn 40,000 volunteers and knocked on 1 million doors. But will that translate into votes?
Let's win this thing.
Tuesday's primary is a test of the Democratic Party's direction following President Donald Trump's victory last November. The party is divided between the older centrist establishment, like former Governor Andrew Cuomo, and younger progressives, like Mamdani, a state assemblyman and a self-described democratic socialist.
The name is Mamdani, M-A-M-D-A-N-I. You should learn how to say it.
He has zero accomplishments.
I want to be very
And now
clear.
he thinks he's going to be ready to be mayor of the city of New York. It is laughable. It is laughable, and it is dangerous.
I think Andrew Cuomo is the perfect representation of the politics of the past, of leadership within our own party that helped give rise to Donald Trump and the affordability crisis. And ultimately, New York City is under attack from both of those things.
If elected, Mamdani would be the city's first Muslim mayor. His campaign has resonated with younger New Yorkers.
I'm supporting Zohran because I'm sick of the status quo, and New York has always been historically resistant to change, and we need change.
I think Cuomo doesn't know how much a dozen eggs costs. And I think that's indicative of him as a candidate, and I think Zohran probably does know what a dozen eggs costs.
Do you think the National Democratic Party is attuned to what eggs cost and the idea?
No. Senators make over $100,000 a year, and I don't know how I'm going to make rent next month. So there's an entire ocean between most of the Democrats in the Senate and me.
Do you think Democrats over 80 in Congress should retire?
I think it's time for a new generation of leadership.
It's been 15 years since Jimmy McMillan captured the city's attention with the campaign slogan, "The rent is too damn high."
Rent is too damn high.
The rent has only gotten higher since. Last year, the vacancy rate was just 1.4%, and the city says average housing costs rose 68% from 2011 to 2022. In addition to a rent freeze, Mamdani says he wants to make it easier to build new housing.
How fast can you actually have buildings built? This is one of the critiques of the Biden administration. They had all these great plans for infrastructure and development, but they still haven't broken ground.
We should eliminate parking requirements in general for new construction. I think we should increase density around mass transit hubs. We should upzone wealthier neighborhoods that have historically not contributed to affordable housing production. But to your point, a lot of this also has to do with the processes underpinning that. But these are also the kinds of policy decisions that decide whether or not construction can actually take place, that untangle why Tokyo builds 10 homes per 1,000 people, Jersey City 7, New York City barely 4.
Most voters we spoke to talked about housing, transportation, and fighting back against Trump as their top issues.
I'm very nervous letting somebody who's 31 years old, or 33, who's really passed 3 bills and has never really had a job in charge of the city. So yes, I am voting for Cuomo, and I know he comes with a lot of baggage, but I think we're going to have to fight against Trump.
Andrew Cuomo.
How come?
He's got the experience, having been in politics for many, many years. He's been governor. I think he's very focused on the issues of the city. We've got so many people in Congress that are over the age of 80. I think it's important that we bring younger people up the ranks, but I think at this current time, I think he's the right choice for mayor.
Just yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
I believe Israel has the right to exist.
Not as a Jewish state?
No, as a state with equal rights.
But some voters we spoke to said Israel was their top issue. Mamdani has called Israel's actions in Gaza a genocide, while Cuomo has blamed critics of Israel for a rise in anti-Semitic attacks.
So who are you voting for in the mayor's race?
Cuomo.
Why?
Zohran Mamdani, I feel, is anti-Semitic. He's a threat to the Jewish people in the state of Israel that cannot be abided in New York City with its major Jewish population.
When you talk to voters, if they bring up the war in Gaza, what do they actually say? Like, do you have specifics?
You know, I have heard from many a real despair around what's been happening in Gaza over the last 18 months and beyond that. And a despair that has been echoed by many beyond those who we typically think of as being the faces of rightful critique. I was at a synagogue some months ago in the campaign where an older Jewish woman came up to me and whispered in my ear, "I disagree with you on one position. I'm pretty sure you know which one it is, but I agree with you on the others, and I'm going to be ranking you." And I think that to me also showcases how we're able to move forward, is by being honest about our own positions, our own assessments, and also being able to speak to those who don't disagree with us without becoming disagreeable.
Progressive candidates tend to perform well among college-educated white voters. But Mamdani is also trying to gain support where Cuomo has shown strength, among working-class Black New Yorkers.
I'm just wondering, is there, like, within the DSA or lefty politics in general, is there kind of like a dilettante problem, that there are so many sort of trust fund babies who talk about socialists, but they're not able to connect to the actual working class because they're so remote from that experience?
I think the most important thing in our politics is to be honest. And I think some of what you're saying is also an unwillingness to recognize one's own role or one's own position. I don't think there is any one single ideology that is in the majority across our city, be it a progressive or anything else. But there is a majority of New Yorkers who feel left behind by the economic policies of this mayoral administration, of politics today.